Today we'll be discussing more Archeage, specifically the 3.5 patch/update. And I've seen a lot of comments asking about Archeage content. Where is it at? Do you still play? Yes, I do still play. Past few days I've been a little busy, but other than that, I play several hours a day. But for those of you wondering about Archeage content, or to those of you who have subbed to my channel only for Archeage, don't expect too much Archeage content. Discussions like this, yes, but class guides or gold making guides, that's probably not going to happen. And when you make gold making guides in a game like this, or class guides, you can destroy the economy, or you can change the meta of the game depending on how many views that video gets. So I won't be doing that this time around. But when 3.5 comes out, depending on all these new features, if people are confused, then maybe I will make some guides. Depends on if you guys need them. Maybe I'll make a guide on how to acquire your new successor levels or something like that. Now let's get into the 3.5 patch. So we discussed it before. We went over some of the new features coming with this update. And if you guys have not seen that yet, I have a video that I will link in the description, and you can watch that after this or before this, whichever one you prefer. But this video will add on to that list of features that's coming with the 3.5 update. So one of the things we talked about in that last video were successor levels. Successor levels come after level 55. So you won't level to 56, 57. It's more like a prestige system. So once you hit 55, then you can gain these 7 successor levels. And each time you complete a level, you are awarded a skill point, which will give you a total of 7. And with these successor levels comes new skills for every single skill tree. And I have to say, some of these skills are fucking broken. Now there will be a list in the description to all of these new skills, and I'm going to give you some examples right now. So with Battle Rage, you can change your triple strike, precision strike, and tiger strike. Now with triple, you have the choice of making it triple strike lightning, which is much faster than the normal version of this skill, but it will only hit one target instead of the area in front of you. I'm going to be honest, all this time I thought it only hit one target anyways. So there's the quake version of this skill, and it attacks enemies within a 3-meter radius around the target and hits each target 3 times. For precision strike, you have squall. If you kill an enemy with this skill, it seems that you can use it again. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what this description leads me to think. And remember, these are translations from the Korean version, so it may not be 100% accurate. And while we're talking about this, a person named Percy took the time to translate all these 3.5 patch notes. And they have a blog where you can read all about it. So I will link Percy's blog down in the description. And Percy, if you're watching this, thank you. The other one is wave. If an enemy has 30% or lower HP, the attack increases its critical rate by 34%. Note that backstab critical rates are removed since the wave attribute is in effect. So instead of precision strike giving you that backstab bonus that goes away, but your crit rate is upped by 34% if the enemy is under 30%, which is kind of good. But this is where Battle Rage gets really good. So you have Tiger Strike, Life, which is like the normal Tiger Strike, but you're immune to any debuff effects while attacking. And then you have Tiger Strike, Lightning. Swiftly attacks one target 3 times in a row. It deals about the same amount of damage in a row. So instead of bouncing around the targets, you're just railing that same target. Tiger Strike is going to be so fucking OP. Then you have some changes to Vitalism, Archery, and every other skill tree, but some of the other ones I want to point out are in Sorcery. So Flame Bolt, you can turn it into Flame, which throws a ball of fire at the enemy. It has a longer cast time, but does more damage, and it's pretty much a big fireball. Or you can change Flame Bolt to Lightning. This can be done 3 times in a row, but its damage is lower than any Flame Bolt skill. It does cause electric shock to the enemy, and its third attack restores your health by 20% of the damage done to the enemy. And also, enemies under this shock effect receive 12% more damage. Your Chain Lightning can also switch to fire, or it can switch to ice. With the wave version of Chain Lightning, this allows you to freeze enemies much easier. This means that you can cause deep freeze on an enemy if you follow up with a freezing arrow. Now this is my favorite in Sorcery. Meteor Strike can change to Wave, which significantly decreases the damage. Enemies hit more than 6 times by the hail are in a deep freeze state. Being frozen by a mage is the most annoying thing in the world, and this just makes mages more OP. Meteor Strike can also change to Lightning. This sends down lightning to an area, an AoE, and enemies hit by this are under the shock debuff, and they're slowed. Now I don't know if the shock debuff slows them, or if it means the shock debuff that allows enemies to take 12% more damage and it slows the enemies, but this skill has no cast time. So if you change meteor to lightning, no cast time, it's just straight up instant. Mages, OP. So now that we talked about some of these new skills, you guys can check out Percy's blog and get a full list of them and maybe decide what you guys want to put your successor level skill points into. Now we're going to talk about some of the mana wisp changes. So mana wisp are going to be a thing of the past in 3.5. Crafting your obsidian and other gear will no longer take mana wisp, it's going to take sealed, illustrious, magnificent, ethereum, things like that. And 3.5 is also going to rid of RNG quite a bit. So if you do have wisp, you're able to visit these workbenches that look like the forges where you salvage stuff, and it's located in Mirage. This will also cost labor. So if you want to get something illustrious, it's 400 labor, magnificent 500, ethereum 650, delphinad 800, and ionad 1000. The crafting fee is very small, it costs copper, and there's no requirement. You don't need 30k machinery to do this, but the more machinery that you do have, the less labor it costs. So 3 wisp will get you an illustrious, 6 will get you a magnificent, 28 will get you ethereum, 168 is a delphinad, and 700 is an ionad. And for armor, the wisp cost is different, but I will link this in the description as well because there's a ton to read through if you want to know the specifics on the conversion of wisp to illustrious, magnificent, or whatever. So with Obsidian Gear, you now need sealed armor or weapons to tier up your obsidian. So instead of it requiring wisp, because they're getting rid of that system in 3.5 it seems, you'll now need a sealed illustrious item to go to a tier 2 obsidian, and then sealed magnificent, and then sealed ethereum, and so on. And with obsidian, it seems that your grade still carries over. So if you have a divine tier 4, the divine will carry over to the tier 5. But in this article, it seems like they're saying that that won't be the case with crafted like illustrious to ionad. Maybe it just means that they won't carry over to the obsidian, or they won't carry over to themselves. Now this brings me to one of the next changes, which is regrading. Regrading is going to be a lot different. But one last thing before we do move to the regrading, armor and obsidian weapons will also require essence. So if you know what essence is, it's like moonlight or sunlight, the most expensive form of it. To give you an example, a headpiece of obsidian, tier 5 will need 9 essence, tier 6 will need 30, and tier 7 will need 66. Now regrading is going to be broken down into 3 different categories: easy, normal, and difficult. Easy gear is obtained from lower level dungeons and items like Lost Garden weapons, Hasla, things like that. Normal is pretty much most of the gear in the game. This is crafted gear like illustrious, magnificent, and also mob dropped gear. Difficult is obsidian gear and raid boss drops. So I'm thinking like the red dragon Nadachi would fall into this category as well. Now here's a chart for the easy, normal, and difficult. There will be a link to this in the description as well, but here you can see the percentage or success rates for each category. There's actually something beyond mythic, primordial. It's got a new icon, and yeah, there's nothing more you need to know about it except trying to achieve this is going to be probably the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life. So for easy items, Celestial to Divine is a 40.5% chance, normal is 30%, and difficult is 19.5%. I don't know what the rates are for our current patch, which is 3.0, but these rates seem to be a bit higher. It seems like Divine is like the new Celestial, but getting from Mythic to Primordial is a 2.7% chance on easy, 2% and 1.3 on difficult. I just feel so bad for whoever breaks a mythic weapon trying to get that last tier. And there's also going to be quite a few trading changes. Now what they're trying to do is push more teamwork. They want people to work together more to do trade packs, and they also want to push naval combat a bit more. As far as NA goes, I think that we're doing good when it comes to working together and doing pack runs, and also naval combat is happening. You know, for now most people are working on their boats regrading, but on Legacy when I played, naval combat was pretty popular. On Fresh Start it's getting there, but in Korea maybe they have a lack of it, and that's why they're trying to push this new trading system. I might be one of the few people confused by this article here, so I'm going to link it. But what I get from it is that there will now be different tiers of trade packs. So there's normal, grand, and aged, tier 1 to tier 3. The part that I'm confused on is that it looks to say that you can trade your packs into a certain merchant. It's not a gold trader, but this guy will take your packs, and other players can buy the packs from this trader, which is supposed to push, you know, pirating and stuff, because people are going to be waiting there to rob the players buying these packs to try to take them somewhere else. And I think that getting these packs from this trader plays a role in tearing up your packs or making more gold or making it easier to run to different continents. I don't know specifically, but there's a new trader and packs now have new tiers and they can also age. From the moment you set a pack down, you're damaging the pack. If you log off, it affects the pack. So it's best to run these packs when you have a couple hours or so dedicated to running packs. That's the best time to do it. As far as the aging of packs go, there are 4 different stages, which is mint quality, which is the best. That's what you want. Normal quality, which is somewhat fresh, bruised quality, which is somewhat old, and broken, corrupt quality, which is very old. You don't want that. There will also be fairies in the game now. Now these can carry you across the continents, and I think the main reason they put this in is to help people get their 16x16s, because a lot of the time when a player gets to that quest, they're like, well, how the hell do I get here? I know some people who tried to swim across the ocean, but usually it's people just hitching a ride from someone who's built a clipper or a boat. This time you have fairies. One will go from Soulsreed to Ginnister, and one will go from 2 Crowns to Solace, and back, of course. And instead of having to wait like 22 or 24 hours for your payment to come in after selling a pack to a trader, I think it comes in after 8 hours, or you have a choice, but you only get 2% interest. There are some question marks here, so it may not be 100%, but I think it will give you the choice if you want to collect it in 8 hours or 20 plus hours. The Freedage Island Gold Trader has also been removed due to these new trading posts. And on these maps, you can see these new trading posts that they've added all across the continents. So these are the many more changes that are coming with the 3.5 update. The thing that I'm most hyped about are the new skill changes, being able to add an element to your skills. Now, I don't know if this is really going to apply, fire or lightning damage, but it's probably going to change the animation and give it a new effect. But I'm also hyped about the regrade changes, because the easy, normal, and difficult categories, depending on what you're using, depending on what you're crafting, it's going to be a lot easier to regrade. So let me know what you guys think about the 3.5 update, and I'll catch you guys in the comment section and in the next video. See you soon, friends.